why I'm not excited about the return of the Rocketeer. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this was a news story that dropped this week, or last week, whatever, that we are getting a sequel on Disney Plus to the movie The Rocketeer. Now, this movie came out in 1991 and was directed by Joe Johnston. If you don't know Joe Johnston, he directed Captain America: The First Avenger and this movie. These are his two most famous movies. And if you've never seen The Rocketeer, it's based on a comic strip, but basically it's just about this guy. He finds a jetpack and he fights Nazis. It's basically Captain America except with the guy who has a jetpack. It's a really fun movie. It's a lot of fun. It's goofy. It's cheesy, but it's so well made. It's so well done. And I think if you've never seen the movie and you want a really fun, pulpy kind of, action adventure movie, here you go, The Rocketeer. Excuse me. I may have some little drinks so I can keep talking. Anyways. So, yeah, I've been waiting for Disney to do something with The Rocketeer for a few years now. I know that at one point they did do a reboot Disney Junior show of the Rocketeer, which was such a, why? This is not a property that preschoolers would be aware of. But okay. But yeah, this movie, they did announce that they're doing a sequel for Disney Plus. No announcements of release dates, but considering there was no announcements other than just who's producing and who's putting it together, that's about it. So we'll see what happens. What I don't like about this news is that they're casting a black lead to play the Rocketeer. First of all, I usually don't care that much when they race swap a character. Sometimes I do, though. In Birds of Prey, right? That movie, they race swap Black Canary. I didn't care. It didn't really affect my enjoyment of that movie. But I still think if a character is originally white, you should just keep it that way. But, my issue with changing the race is this. Everything I mentioned about The Rocketeer, what I really like about it is it's a cheesy, fun adventure movie. And it's fun. And if you put a black lead in the star of this movie, since this movie is set during, the original movie is set during, World War II, that kind of era, type stuff, a little bit after, you're going to have to address racism in the movie. Which is annoying, because, again, what I enjoy about The Rocketeer is it's just a dumb, fun action movie. I mean, it's a really well-made one, but it's a fun one, but now you're inserting real-world politics into it because you decided to cast a black lead, which you didn't have to do. You could just cast a white person, or just, heck, any other race would have been better, because now you have to address racism in the narrative. You cannot do that. If you don't address racism in the movie, it's going to look really weird, because, you have a black lead in very racist times in America, that type of thing. And so it's really, really irritating that we have to do this. And that's why I'm not excited about this movie, is because I love The Rocketeer. I think it's a great movie. I'm not mad that you're casting a black lead. I'm mad because now, because you're casting a black lead, we have to address racism in a movie that was just dumb fun. And I think that's really something irritating within this film. I love this movie. I have the action figure over there. I'm looking at it on my shelf. I have it on Blu-ray. I have, I've read some of the comics. I love The Rocketeer. I really, really do. And it's sad that, this is kind of what they're doing with it. Doesn't mean the movie won't be good. I'll still watch the movie and check it out, because one thing I hate about fandom now is there's the outrage when news comes out about stuff and people don't watch the things that they complain about. And they don't act, because, a real fan wouldn't say, I'm not watching it. A real fan would say, I hope it's good, and then they watch it. And if they're disappointed, they're disappointed. But that's my thing about being a real fan to me. Is like you watch it because you're a fan and you want things to be good. You don't go in, wanting to hate things and like modern fandom does. I think is a big issue. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this movie.